Welcome to the third virtual sneak peek of the 2025 Goal Achievers Summit speakers. This event is being sponsored by Every Dot Black, no .net and no .com, just Every Dot Black. Dot Black is the new .com. I am the Dexcellent Voice, and I will be your MC for today's virtual showcase. Before we begin, I would like to let you know this event is being recorded, so unless you are a speaker, your mic will be muted. Speakers, please remember to keep your mics muted until it is your time to speak. To all of our participants, thank you so much for joining us today. You are in for a wonderful treat. If you have any questions, please place them in the chat and we will address them at the end of the showcase. And now, without further ado, it is my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce to you the host of the 2025 Goal Achievers Summit, founder and visionary, the man behind the master's plan, Mr. Phil R. Taylor.
Well, Dexter, thank you so much for that exciting, lovely introduction. And we're so glad that everybody who's been able to join us has joined us, and those that will be joining us on the recorder will equally enjoy this sneak preview on our lineup on the sales and marketing speakers. And I was thinking about sales and marketing, and it took me back 42 years ago. I was out of college after my first year, and I took this thing called sales and I didn't know too much about it. But I got basically a very short training, and it was basically a pat on the back and a good luck to you type of thing. And it was a door knocking opportunity, and I knocked on my first door. I rang on my first doorbell, and literally, as I was trying to just introduce myself, this big burly man showed up. He looked at me up and down, and he slammed the door on my face. And that was the introduction to sales. And that was 42 years ago. And I remember walking back and forth in the street. It was a very defining moment as to whether I was going to quit or not, or whether I was going to persevere and harness this wonderful new profession that I had discovered. And thank goodness, somehow, some way, I was able to muster the courage to knock on the second door and so forth. And that launched my career into sales, which then dominoed into starting businesses. It started my journey into entrepreneurship. And then it's hard to be an entrepreneur without being a leader. So whether you want to or not, the leadership skills are essential. So this is how really all of these three skills weave into one another at the Goal Achiever Summit. Sales, entrepreneurship, leadership, they all blend into one another. And that's what we're going to be focused on. And what a wonderful way to end the year and start off a new year than to be clear on your purpose, on your goals. Everybody that will be there will be clear on what their goals are. And if they're not, they certainly will be by the time they leave. And they will also leave with a post-summit experience, which is their own mastermind group. So we're just so thrilled at how this is shaping up. And this is really setting the precedent for years to come, where goal-driven individuals, purpose-driven individuals come to get fueled up for the new year. So I've said enough, I think, for now, but I'm just excited about having our speakers who's going to share their perspective on the powerful, powerful track of sales and marketing as it pertains to goal achievement and the summit as a whole. So thank you very much, Dexy. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Phil. I'm so excited for our speakers and our sale and marketing track. Applause all the way around. Our first speaker showcases the transformative power of deep faith, genuine relationships, innovation, continuous learning, and values-driven decision making. Honored with the prestigious Arizona Entrepreneur of the Year award, his story inspires entrepreneurs in any industry looking to leave a lasting legacy through their work and contributions. His philosophy? Any enterprise built by wise planning becomes strong through common sense and profits wonderfully by keeping abreast of the facts. Please welcome former president of the National Speakers Association, founder and chairman of Smart Practice, the recipient of the prestigious CAVIT Award, and the 2025 Goal Achievers Summit senior advisor, the legendary Jim Rohde.
Thank you, Dixie. Well, good afternoon or good evening for most of us. I am Jim Rohde, and when you hear me, you're going to hear from a common sense engineering kind of a guy that became an entrepreneur. Um, I am an entrepreneur at heart, and I, along with my wife, started a business that you could have said started in our garage. It really didn't in our garage, but that's the model. And it got up to 400 or 500 employees, $100 million in sales, divisions in multiple countries. And we've primarily started by serving dentists and then any healthcare professional, chiropractors and veterinarians and people who need to bring more patients to their business. And a dental school takes a young, bright person's mind and hands and teaches them how to do quality and creative dentistry. They're very artistic. And 3, 4 years into being a dentist, they often realize, I don't know how to run a business. I need to get some business principles, some selling, some marketing, some management principles to make this work. And we stepped in and did that. And we were, if I dare say so myself, we were very successful in making that happen. I am now retired, and that's a good way to live at this point. But that's what happened. As it was mentioned in the introduction, I was president of the National Speakers Association. In fact, my annual meeting or my national meeting was right down the road from where we're going to have this meeting at the Orlando Marriott, and it was a wonderful experience. And I have fond memories and fond feelings about Orlando and what an ideal place a meeting such as this is. The Goal Achievers Summit, and anyone that gets a chance to be there is going to benefit dramatically from it. So I've helped people specialize to build their business in both marketing and relationship building. And my goal for the summit is to help those that are there go away with some real practical ideas that make their business work better and give them a profitability and a sense of helping people. And once you help enough people, they will in turn return, and with a fair fee, you have a good business going, and that's what it's all about. I use the word common sense a lot. I set it up by saying I'm trained as a common sense engineer, and now I'm a common sense businessman. And I trust that people that are involved with anything I do go away with a a pocket full of simple, cost-effective ideas, common sense ideas that get good results. One thing is that is a very practical takeaway. The greatest management consultant, perhaps on American side, in the last 50 years was Peter Drucker, and he had his one of his number one goals was to get you understand what gets measured in a business gets managed, and every business has a different thing to measure. And I want to help anyone that's there to decide what are the 3, 4, 5, 7 most important numbers in my business that I have to measure seriously and get managed numbers, and then make comparison to Friday, a restaurant Friday sales this year, this last Friday with a year ago last Friday, with a week ago last Friday. What are the trends and what's affecting those trends, whether it be the economy, the weather, and you start knowing that, you're going to make better staffing rules and better acquiring rules and better menus and all that sort of stuff. Many of those things apply to every industry has things to measure and come out of. There's one thing that I start every program with, and that is a proverb, and it's something that this summit should do. Commit yourself, it says 3,000 years ago, 1000 BC. Commit yourself to instruction. Listen carefully to words of wisdom. So all of us, all of you that are on this program, have words of wisdom, and the nature of the meeting is to set up an environment that people become carefully are conditioned to carefully listen to our words of wisdom, and that is a powerful takeaway. It's a powerful thing, and we as speakers have to go by another proverb: choose a good reputation over great riches. Riches being held in high esteem is better than silver or gold. Silver at $50 an ounce, and gold at $4,000 an ounce keeps going up, and yet that isn't as important as a good reputation. So that's kind of my takeaway, and that's what I like people to understand when they've had 3, 4, 5 hours of me, 30 minutes of me, 15 minutes of me, a paragraph of me. So thank you for listening, and thank you for considering, as you listen to what we're doing here, to be attending the Goal Achiever Summit between Christmas and New Year's to set goals for the next year. And those goals will do wonderful things to your business. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Aha,
Yay, we're clapping so much.
that's
Thank
good. Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much, Jim. You've been so
Thank
helpful
you.
to us so far in this Goal Achiever Summit, and I am totally committed to your instruction. I'm listening carefully to your wisdom, and what gets measured gets managed. So thank you
Yeah.
so much. I love your common sense, and I'm choosing a good reputation over riches. Our next speaker loves being part of a process that gives people a platform to shine. She believes there's something powerful about helping others uncover their message, own their story, and walk out as the most confident version of themselves, helping overwhelmed speakers nail their core message in 3 days so event organizers say yes. With her infectious smile and ever encouraging essence, please welcome TEDx speaker and podcast host, the amazing Macy Buckshee.
Thank you so much, Dexy. I really appreciate that. And I'm really excited to share about this because most speakers aren't failing because their stories aren't good. They're failing because their message isn't clear enough for people to take action. For years, that was me. I'd give a talk, pour my heart into it, tell personal stories, get nods and smiles. And then afterward, people would come up to me like, nice talk. And then they'd walk away, no clients, no referrals, no invitation, no momentum. And I couldn't understand why. I thought I was doing everything right. I was showing up, sharing my story, and giving value. But here's what I eventually realized. If people leave inspired, but they don't know what to do with your message, you didn't land the talk. Nice talk is the polite way of saying, I have no idea how to use what you just said. And when your message isn't clear, event organizers don't remember you, clients don't follow up, audiences don't take action, and your opportunities disappear. That was my problem. And it's the problem most speakers don't even know they have. So everything changed when I learned one simple truth. Clarity isn't about saying more. It's about saying the right thing. When I started coaching speakers, including some TEDx speakers, I saw the pattern instantly. The speakers who booked stages, who went viral, who built followings, they weren't the best quote unquote performers. They weren't the most dramatic storytellers. They had clear, actionable messages their audience could instantly repeat. So I studied it obsessively. I learned what it takes to distill a message so clean that someone could hear it once and repeat it word for word. I built frameworks, I tested them, I refined them, and then I started applying them to my own talks. And that was the moment everything shifted. Now, clarity is my entire world. I help overwhelmed speakers nail their one core message, sometimes in just a single session. So event organizers immediately know where to place them, and audience instantly understand how to take action. So I teach speakers the same 3 questions I had to learn the hard way. Number 1, who is this talk for? And no, everyone is never the answer. 2, what is the one action they can take in 24 hours? Something tangible, repeatable, doable today. Number 3, what do you want an audience member to come up to you and say after your talk? Because if it's just nice talk or that was great, you lost them. Now, when people leave my talks, I hear, I updated my LinkedIn headline tonight. I took that action you mentioned. I finally know how to describe what to do, not just that was great. Clear message, clear action, clear results. And if you want to learn this for yourself, not just the surface level version, but the deep clarity that gets you paid for speaking, then I'm really excited to see you and personally invite you to join us at the Goal Achiever Summit on December 29th and 30th. I'll be breaking down my full message clarity framework, how to craft one unforgettable core message, how to design talks that get booked again, how to make audiences take action immediately, and how to become the speaker event organizers cannot ignore. If you're tired of nice talk energy and you're ready for I need you on my stage next energy, then join us on December 29th and 30th. That is where your clarity begins.
Yay!
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Macy. I love the work that you're doing, and your heart just makes me smile. And so I'm so looking forward to meeting you in person in Orlando. And I just want to say thank you so much for showing up and being so clear.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. You know how much I love you. You're my favorite MC in the entire world. So I'm so honored you introduced me.
As an experienced business growth strategist, our next speaker is on a mission to equip entrepreneurs, sales leaders, and individuals with the tools they need to achieve clarity and confidence in both their professional and personal endeavors. Through his comprehensive business coaching and consulting services, he aims to assist clients in leveraging their strengths and building an effective mindset with the necessary support system. He believes a sales team is only as effective as their manager, and if you want your salespeople to sell smarter and perform better, you need to keep sharpening your leadership skills as well. Empowering sellers and organizations to stress less, sell smarter, and win more. Please welcome certified Sadler and ICF coach, advisor to founders, contributor on Now Media TV, USA national bestseller, and CEO of Jabulani Consulting, Mr. Deepak Butra.
You know, I sometimes amaze myself because we're so good to show compassion to others, but sometimes when others talk about you, I'm actually choking right now because I would love to meet this dude, right? Phil, you know my sense of humor. I really want to meet this person that I've just introduced. So at the end of it all, I mean, we just had two great speakers, right? Jim and Macy kind of gave their context of what they're trying to achieve. If someone could just confirm that you can see my ugly face as well as hear my beautiful voice,
I confirm,
thank you, ma'am. Now,
except you're handsome.
yes, yes. Ask any mother. Ask any mother. I'm the handsomest, as per my mom. So I agree with you. So what am I doing here? I'm doing what I really enjoy doing, which is talking to people to make a change. I left the corporate world after 30 years, team, and I left the corporate world with one simple intention. I wanted to make a mark in the last 10, 15, 20 years of my life, send that very elevator that brought me to the top back to bring more people to the top. And I think that that is a judicious upliftment cycle that always works. This is one of those do good moments, perhaps. I've actually got involved in three different businesses in the last 14 months since I became an entrepreneur. And for me, one thing I learned along the way is planning structure will always eat culture or your mindset for breakfast. You may have the best of intent, but if you do not have a structure or a framework that you're following, wash, rinse, repeat, you are going to find yourself in trouble. When I was approached to think about joining this event as a speaker, I jumped at one notion, and that was I like the word achievement, the achiever, right? You have a setup that you're going to talk about goal achievement, and we're going to talk to achievers in a room, right? So I actually went away and I said to Phil, I'm so excited. I'm going to sit down and actually going to build something from scratch. And I actually did that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring to you with Sandler. Sandler and I have actually built together a very unique framework that is called the Achieve Framework in honor of Phil's agenda. And this is going to see the light of day for the first time in the end of December. Sandler is right now signed it off. It's going to actually be a white paper. I will be presenting this white paper, and the white paper is very simple, ladies and gentlemen. It simply says, we have learned a lot from how high performing rock star salespeople sell, right? These are people that take no in stride. They're mentally resilient. They are amazing at bouncing back. They take consistent stream of stress until they break sometimes. 35% of all salespeople leave the sales function by the age of 35. If that is not a waste of human talent, then what is? Now, what some of those people have done is that they have actually mastered the art of selling. And I've always said to anyone on this call, if you tell me that the oldest profession is not selling, then shame on you. The oldest profession is selling. And it's a joke that you guys will get later on as you think about it. Human beings have been selling to each other from time eternal. I had extra skins. You needed to be warm in winter. Here are some skins. You give me some sacks of, let's say, seed. We've been doing bartering for ages. What I'm going to do for the team is I'm actually going to give a framework, and it's pretty easy. Since it's called Achieve, that gives you an idea. It stands for ACHIEVE. I won't give away much more. In fact, Phil, I have the documents in front of me, and if you want a sneak peek, I'm happy to set up a call with you. I will break down in very simplistic terms how do rockstar salespeople formulate goals and strategies? How do they reverse engineer their objectives, which are, remember, not just smart, but they're also very, very, very time bound? There's not a single salesperson on the planet that's going to tell me or a customer that I have so much work, Mr. Customer, I cannot deliver to your deadline. It just doesn't happen. So salespeople are attuned at focusing on the customer. He is their North Star, and then working backwards. If you think about it, there's so much research, so much material that one could publish, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk my audience through only 12 slides, Phil, because I know I'm a verbose kind of guy, right? But in those 12 slides, I'm going to draw for you a framework and a vision of how rockstar salespeople go about goaling themselves against very vicious targets. And then when they make a mistake, what are the contingencies and how do they fall back? That is my intent. Once I've done the 45 minutes, I and Phil are having a conversation. I've actually proposed, and I think it's going to happen, hopefully. On the third day, I'm going to offer a 2-hour workshop where I'm going to actually go deep into and do a little bit of hand holding with people, actually understand how the framework works. And that workbook is nearly 50 pages of dense frameworks. It's a playbook, it's a guide. I actually wanted to make sure that people left the room with something tangible, something that they could hold on to. I am not a wishy-washy type of guy. I still buy shampoo out of vanity, but I do buy shampoo. And I do keep my hair scalp clean. Let's leave it at that. In the same way, I think that selling is a high hygiene function. I have an honest feeling that this session will resonate with people who want to look at out of curriculum subjects from where we can do tremendous learning. Some of my best learning has come from engineering into sales, from maybe, let's say philosophy and spiritualism, right, Jim, into the sales arena, thinking about what is the ethical frameworks under which I should operate, what is my value system and what is my customer's value system, and how do I make them both meet together. Phil, I'm going to hand it back to Dixie. But Dixie, that's what makes me excited. I'm so looking forward to sharing a built from scratch framework, leveraging salespeople and their intent and their greatness into a framework that anyone can use. A founder, an entrepreneur, even a salesperson, by the way, can use it to get better at what they do. But in general, anyone who walks into a room who wants to live with clarity, a framework that holds them accountable and allows them to scale. Hopefully, I'll be your man for December. Back to you, Dixie.
Yes, I'm confident that you will be our man for December. And I love your sense of humor, by the way. It's great. It's always so structured, and you're bringing so much value to our 2025 Goal Achiever Summit by adding what you're adding for the 2 days and then beyond with your third day workshop. So I'm so looking forward to achieving rock star sales without hitting rock bottom. And I can't wait to see you in Orlando, my friend.
Orlando, see you soon.
See
Thank
you
you, man.
soon. Specializing in board level strategy and leadership consulting, our next speaker doesn't set small goals. She builds teams and communities of world changers committed to transforming the marketplace for kingdom achievement. Her mission? To strengthen Christian businesses, transform cities, and unite leaders, reshaping how the world conducts business, advancing the kingdom every step of the way. Delivering the impact your intentions deserve, where business is her sport. Please welcome principal consultant and owner of Intent and Impact, founder of the U.S. Christian Chamber of Commerce, trainer, speaker, and coach, Miss Crystal Parker.
School is never out for the professional. Anyone that wants to be great understands it takes practice, intention, and training. For example, once a professional athlete signs the big contract, they don't just quit going to practice. They surround themselves with the best coaches, trainers, and players in the field. Leaders, what makes you any different? I'm Crystal Parker, and business is my sport. The stakes are too high for you and your team to be stagnant. The business landscape is ruthless and unforgiving, and talent is mobile. Lucky for you, the teacher arrives when the student is ready, and that's exactly what happened to me. I went from being a high school valedictorian to a college dropout. When I was working as a temporary employee stocking shelves, someone put a book in my hand that changed my life. After reading the book, I had an opportunity to see this legend speak. I scraped together every penny I had to watch John Maxwell bring his book to life. I quickly ascended from temp worker to the youngest executive for a Fortune 200 oil and gas giant. After years of scaling the corporate ladder, I punctuated my corporate career by providing J.D. Power's award-winning customer service to over 2 million customers, leading hundreds of union and non-union employees, and serving on as many as 9 boards as a board of director. Not bad for a college dropout. I advanced my education at Harvard Business School for senior executive leaders with a focus on innovation, globalization, leadership diversity. I earned a master's in marketing from Ottawa University and an undergrad in psychology from KU. Today, I am an emerging author of leadership, a professor of graduate and undergraduate studies on leadership, management, diversity, and ethics. And I created my business, Intent and Impact, to help you deliver the impact your intentions deserve. Remember that teacher I told you about that changed my life? In order to serve you and share the secrets to my success, I partnered with the world's largest leadership training organization on the planet to become a certified John Maxwell trainer, speaker, coach, and accredited DISC behavioral expert. When you grow, the team grows. When you improve, your business improves. When you get better, decision-making gets better. And when you raise your leadership lid, retention efforts improve, you become a top-tier talent magnet, and your development and talent management efforts are off the charts. John Maxwell says, everything rises and falls on leadership. Since people determine the potential in your organization, it's time for you to make a commitment to invest in your greatest assets. It says in Proverbs, as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. Partner with me to sharpen your skills, build your bench, innovate a strategy, and win.
Being a certified speaker, coach, and trainer for the John Maxwell team means that she is part of a team of elite coaches, teachers, and speakers, professionals, taking leadership training, talents, skills, and adding value to people all over the world. Everything rises and falls on leadership.
Well, thank you. No surprise, I will be talking about leadership for this event, and I am so excited to share that with you. I got tickled looking at that video because I talk about being the valedictorian of my high school class. But what I didn't tell you, I was in a class of 7 people. So it was a tough rise to the top, let me tell you that. What I'm going to tell you guys about at the conference, and I'm so at the summit, and I'm so excited about this, is from the pig pen to the boardroom, the unlikely leader. I think so many times people think that you need the big titles and you have to have all of this incredible certificates and certifications and all this equipping, but I really believe that the most unlikely people make the greatest leaders. And what I want to do at this summit is to share my story. I want to talk about how do you go from raising pigs to being in one of the top boardrooms in America in a Fortune 199 company. And there is a strategy to that. After I left corporate America and started over completely, I wondered, would I be able to claw back, rise back to the top? Or could I just disappear into the sunset? And, I started the U.S. Christian Chamber of Commerce, which is now a national organization serving Christian business leaders from sea to shining sea. I do believe that there is a strategy for leadership. And so I'm going to share my story, but I'm also going to give you some very clear strategic things that you can do from the moment you hear them that day to when you leave the conference. There's not any secret. It's truly strategy. And I can't wait to help you rise to the top because everything does rise and fall on leadership. And I'll meet you at the summit.
Yay. I am so excited to meet you. I can feel your heart and just everything that you've done. When you grew, the world around you grew. And every time I can feel it when you come into a space, I can just feel everything just begins to expand. And so I am so looking forward to seeing you and meeting you. And I'm just excited. I'm just excited. You have changed the world from sea to shining sea. So, Crystal Parker, not bad for a college dropout, girl.
Thanks, Dexy. I'll see you
Thank,
there.
thank you. I'll see you there. With a reputation for transforming teams and individuals through powerful storytelling, actionable frameworks, and a contagious energy that inspires lasting change, our final speaker equips high performing sales leaders, aspiring speakers, coaches, and consultants with the strategies to move from complacency to consistent high performance. His engaging style combines real world experience with practical takeaways on productivity, leadership, and growth, helping stressed out professionals connect their why with their way, ushering them into a life of significance. Please welcome professional people connector, speaker, coach, sales and leadership expert, the intentional mindsetter, Mr. Ryan Bodner.
Thank you. Thank you, Dexy. Thank you, everybody. Listen, what the skill set, I just want to say I'm so thankful and to be able to follow up everybody already on here, but the skill sets that are going to be coming to the table at the end of the year, it's something, nothing short of spectacular. And I think about sales. We talk about sales today. I believe money follows movement. And I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm moving. Me and my wife, we have 7 children. So our family of 9, we're getting in a van, and we are leaving Washburn, North Dakota, and we're driving 2,000 miles to come to Orlando to spend the end of the year with everybody there. And I believe that anybody that decides to move towards that goal, and if they really want something bad enough, nothing will stop them. But if they don't want it that bad, almost anything will stop them. And so if they want to take absolute ownership and saying, you know what, 2026 is going to be the best year ever. To be here, this isn't for everybody. We can come up with excuses and blame situations why I'm not going to get on a plane or I'm not going to drive and I'm not going to come and really invest in myself, which is your most valuable asset. Putting your time, your money, and your effort into really strategically planning. I believe that everybody needs a coach in life. I believe that a good coach can change your life. And great coaches have changed my life. And even if I had bad coaches, I knew what not to do. And so, because why? I can't read the label while I'm in the bottle. And so to be able to have so many fresh perspectives, first of all, I'm so excited to be there and just be able to glean from the wisdom. And I just think of already, Jim, you talking about dentists. 20 years ago, I got into the life insurance business. I worked with physicians throughout the first 10 years. And I first started with working with pharmacists and then medical family practice doctors. And I kept leveling up. And what I had to understand is I needed to be a specialist. Why? Because specialists make special money. Generalists make generalist money. And so instead of finding my why and my purpose in this life, I really want to help people, and even myself even more, find that skill and be able to find a problem in the world that I'm most qualified to solve, and my skill set that can bring it and help people package their purpose and bring it to a market that will monetize their message. And so I'm thinking about even, Maxie, your message about helping speakers get clear. I spoke a lot and I was not clear, but I was excited and people paid me a little bit of money until I started to say, you know what, I want to be a specialist and I need to start specializing and niching in to be an expert in what I'm doing. And same with Crystal. We're both John Maxwell fans and certified. I'm thankful for the message to be intentional. John helped me with this 5 years ago, and going with Deepak's message. About 35 to 37, I fell into deep addiction after making millions of dollars in sales because I had become complacent and I became comfortable and I needed to be activated. But it ended with a drug overdose in 2020. And the first thing that came out as I fell in love with the Word of God and just the mercy that He had in my life. But John Maxwell's book, 15 Laws of Invaluable Growth, the first law was to be intentional, was intentionality. And I said, man, I need to be more intentional about my life. I need to be a more intentional husband and more intentional father. I need to be more intentional about my business. This time around, I've got a second chance at life. So ever since then, I've been at A and I'm trying to get to B. And I'm going to do an exercise with that as I speak and possibly do breakout session because I believe everybody's at A and there's things that bother us at A. And we're hopefully living in the gain and not the gap because I'm thankful where I'm at, but I'm not satisfied. But I'm moving every day to my B goal. So I'm looking at how do I get there? Which a lot of people know how to get there, but I believe it's the who. And there's going to be a lot of who's in that room and over that week that are going to help you to be able to get to that next level. So I'm excited. I thank everybody for just this amazing Kickstarter for the event. And please pray for our big long trip of 2,000 miles. Great job, everybody. Love you guys.
We love you too, Ryan. What a way to round out our speaker summit, virtual speaker summit today. I love the fact that you come and you speak such truth from your heart. And I'm so thankful that you will be moving in our direction and bringing us the clarity and the skill that we need to specialize in the places that we need to be. Thank you so very much, my friend, for being here. And I cannot wait to meet you in Orlando.
Thank you, Dexter. You're a rock star MC. I can't wait to meet you too.
Thank you so much, my friend. Okay, I would like to open up the floor for questions. If anyone has any questions or comments for our wonderful speakers, please raise your hand and come off mute. Jim,
I have
yes,
one.
sir. Go ahead, go ahead.
Deepak, you mentioned in your introduction and in your talk, I don't see you on there here anymore. Did you leave? Your title has a rock star in it. We had lunch. Today's Thursday. Tuesday, 2 days ago, we had lunch with Alice Cooper. And he told his story, which was dramatically involved with drugs and alcohol and bad living, and how he turned his life around and is now a very committed Christian and doing some great stuff. He's helping youth dramatically, helping youth off the street learn how to play, how to do things, and there's a strong Christian message based on his own failure in life with them. So that's an interesting story.
Thank you, sir. The word rock star, right? It has a certain connotation to it. The word kingdom also has a certain connotation to it. I think the context is in which it is used in. So for me, a rock star is someone that we look up to, not because he's doing drugs, but because what he's doing after. Ryan's story doesn't end with the drugs. It actually starts from his overdose, right, Ryan? I think that's the power of rock star images, right? We just have this thing. We live in a TLDR world. I go on social media just today as an example. Right now, the biggest craze on X, Phil, is the fact that someone made fun of a woman who took a picture of herself holding her degree, her PhD in her hand, and he said, no one asked a chick about her degree ever. That has been now criticized by more than 16.5 million people. And I'll tell you one thing. I wasn't smiling at first. I said, this is good. Instead of me waving a hand, I'm seeing tons of people standing up and actually saying that, what's the point of this? Why does a woman have to justify her existence? And by the way, does a guy walk around with his degree around his neck? So why the expectation that a woman should have it? So when I see stuff like that, I actually realize that the message that this forum brings to people, right, is a message of greatness and goodness. We talk amongst not strangers anymore. We have our own stories to share. So I'm going to talking about rockstar salespeople, Jim, to your point, and I'm going to talk about how rockstar salespeople actually think, string ideas together, and let's see how we can take that framework to make some magic out of it. But thanks for that intro. I just couldn't think of that, and then I connected it back to what I was watching on X, because I'm a social media geek. I just love it because I learned so much from human behavior, and every time I think that I'm seeing goodness somewhere, guess what? Humans bring me back to earth again, and we realize that our voice matters still, and hopefully will matter even more, even with this AI nonsense going on. Back to you, sir. Couldn't stop with my little mini rant.
I appreciate your mini rant, especially how you're elevating and shining a light on women in the world and sometimes how things are for us. So I appreciate you for being a champion with us for that. And I would like to say also, I just want to recognize the Bakshi family. What rock stars for showing up. It's like you guys, welcome, welcome to the Bakshi family for being here. Thank you all for coming and supporting.
Dexy, did you hear Ryan actually called her Maxi? That was so cool. He did a Macy Buxy and he said, let's not waste time with two words. The girl's a Maxi. She's big. She's competent. Maxi.
Right. I love that. Do we have any more questions or comments? Anyone? Yes, Phil, go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Well, first of all, thank you for all of you for coming and just giving a glimpse into the richness and the depth of your message. And this is just so very exciting. I've got the goosebumps. So anybody listening, you're welcome. Come and bring your friends and so forth. But something, we think about Christmas and New Year's, and we think of it as a family celebratory time of year. But what we forget is it's a very lonely and sad time of year for many, many people. Statistically, more people take their own lives during that time of year than any other time during the year. That's a bit of a sad statistic, but it doesn't have to be. And Goal Achievers is a place not only for achievement, to get clarity, purpose, but it's also to give hope that your life means something, that you are innate with gifts that are given by God for you to serve and live a life that is full and meaningful. So I just wanted to bring that back to the surface. And if you know of anybody during this holiday time, Christmas and New Year, who needs that mission, and you have a ticket perhaps that you can gift somebody, or you're thinking of those that can really use the encouragement that's going to be found at the summit. Please spread that message. And thank you to all. I am moved. I am moved beyond what words can adequately express. Thank you all for your generosity, your kindness, your encouragement, and for just giving as you have. So bless you and bless everybody who's listening. This is exciting.
Well said, Phil. And thank you so much for your vision and your encouragement and for putting the call out for us to be there for this 2025 Goal Achievers Summit. And no one has to be alone. So we're going to be there. We're going to be there December 29th and 30th. So we want you to join us there. We want to thank all of our sales and marketing track speakers, and we want to thank all of our wonderful participants who joined us today. We want to remind you to please mark your calendars for December 4th so that you won't miss our final sneak peek of the 2025 Goal Achievers speakers, Thursday, December 4th. Don't miss it. Final opportunity to catch a sneak peek at some of the amazing speakers who will be presenting at the 2025 Goal Achievers Summit in sunny Orlando, Florida. Finally, I'd like to invite all of you to grab your tickets today and join us for 2 full days of dynamic goal setting, where you can define your vision, master your strategy, and commit to excellence. December 29th and 30th, achieve your goals at the 2025 Goal Achievers Summit in sunny Orlando, Florida. We'll see you there.
Woo!